I am going to do a full review of this rifle. I've only done really an overview and a review kind of on the upper and lower. When I got them, because I bought the upper separately and the lower separately and just, you know, slapped together. Both are Palmetto State Armory. This is their A2 lower. Standard trigger, not the EPT. The EPT would be cool, and one of the rifles I had by them had an EPT trigger, and it was nice. But the upper is the premium upper. It is the FN cold hammer forged barrel on here, the 20-inch. And this is their, like I said, the A2 lower they call it, and the premium cold hammer forged FN upper. And it's, so far, this rifle, as just an overview, has been excellent. I have not had one single issue with this thing so far. It's been good. I haven't had a fail to feed. I haven't had a misfire. I haven't had anything with it, and I hope it stays that way. It's been good. It's been as good as any other AR-15 that I've owned, whether that's Spikes Tactical, Colt, Smith & Wesson M&Ps. I've had those. I've had a few LE 6920s from Colt, and they've all been good. I haven't had, and the AR15A4, the Colt one that I had before, the only issue I had with it was the trigger pin kept walking out, almost wanting to pop out after like every 20 rounds that I fired. And that was the only issue actually I've ever had with an AR-15, but this one, so far, nothing about it, nothing good, nothing bad, you know, everything's been good on it. Like I said, Palmetto State Armory lower. This is the UTG mil-spec carry handle, and I suspect that's exactly what Palmetto State Armory is using. You can barely see the logo right there. It's kind of blacked out a little bit, but I suspect that's what PSA is using themselves. I don't know if they're manufacturing handles themselves, but this thing has been solid. It's been good. It's been as good as the Colt that I had. It's even got, if I can get up here, it's even got the little square mark forging up here, so that's good. And I guess this is all PSA stuff because there's no forging marks on any of it. They don't have, you know, so I know that they're doing their own manufacturing process now. Let's go ahead and break this down a little bit. It's a little oiled up, kind of got it oiled up, so you might see a little shine on it. But everything's been good on it, you know, everything, you know, it's just a standard mil-spec trigger. It's not the EPT, but I have not had any issue with it. It's very smooth actually for a mil-spec trigger, and I don't mind that. I don't mind a mil-spec trigger whatsoever. I've never had any, you know, issue and have, you know, want to feel like I have to have a special, you know, enhanced trigger or anything like that. You know, some of those really nice ones people drop in. I'm not against it. I just never have had, you know, any issue with anything like that. I kind of like the triggers. They're not too bad. But yeah, that's the mosquito rifle. Standard fire and safe positions. Safety, left side only. Just your standard mil-spec basic lower, nothing about it. What's cool about PSA, and a lot of companies are doing this now, of course, is the beveled edge to slide your magazine in easier if you need to. Right there, drops away good. Very nice lower, lightweight. Works good. Standard A2 buttstock. It's got the trap door right here. I don't have anything in there right now. Standard A2 grip. A lot of people like those, a lot of people don't like them. I like the Magpul grip. However, these standard type grips, they don't bother me whatsoever. I actually find comfortable. I do think that the Magpul type grip with the angle and its feel actually is a nicer grip than that, you know. But this really is kind of more just to keep with the traditional, original look of it. All right, here's the upper. Cold hammer forged barrel. Start here at the beginning, at the front. Move this out of the way. Right here. A2 birdcage flash hider. FN hammer forged, cold hammer forged barrel. It's 5.56 NATO 1-in-7 twist. Standard A2 front sight. It is F marked. Standard polymer plastic hand guards on it. Got your case, your shell deflector, your latch here, your forward assist, standard carry handle. That's something I will probably upgrade on this. I think this is just kind of the I'm not sure if this is mil spec or not, you know, or almost feels it's dirty. I have not cleaned it since the last time I put any rounds through it. But yeah, this doesn't, it almost feels kind of budget, you know, like it's very easily bent. So that's the one that came with it. It does have a few little wear marks on it and stuff. Nothing gonna impact the performance. Standard M16 full auto bolt carrier. We'll get some close-ups here. Staking is pretty good. Could be better. Not too bad though. Pretty decent there. Like I said, standard M16 bolt carrier. Bolt's face. Yeah, it is dirty, isn't it? Now I'm looking at it. Like I said, I haven't cleaned this in, I probably haven't cleaned it in about 200 rounds. Let me go get something real quick. Get this out of here. Get this pin out. Well, there we go. Yep, definitely needs to be cleaned, and I'll do that before I put it all together. All right, here's the bolt. As you can see, it says C158 MPI tested, or yeah, does it say MPI? Yeah, MPI. The eye's starting to get a little faded out. So there it is. Everything looks good on it still so far. No issues. Doesn't look like any cracks or really much wear on it, you know. So that's good. This one always seems to be the issue right here, that a lot of people have brakes and things on. This one looks to be good. I don't see any excessive wear on it too much. These are all parts though that are cheap to replace and you should have extra of, and I will be buying, I'll actually be buying a whole nother bolt to stick in here. This one's been fine, but I'd like to have a little bit better one, you know, than this one. And, you know, of course, a couple little extra pieces, you know, one of these, probably the whole bolt carrier will go, I'll get the whole bolt carrier. Of course, this has been fine right here. It is chrome lined on the inside, chrome lined on the gas, inside the gas key right there. Can't really see that with the lighting. But it is. And my dirty firing pin right there. Tip still looks good. Everything's fine. All right. There it is, without the hand guards. It's just a government profile barrel. Tell by the cuts and everything like that. Standard gas tube. You know, all this stuff could be cleaned a little. But I don't see any markings on the inside of the barrel for anything. And there may be somewhere. I don't see anything, but of course it does have the see if we can get this focused in. Right there. Yes, sir. All right. Now these are the original hand guards that came on this. You can see they're more ovaled, and it's more like, you know, when the M4s come out with just the basic hand guards. It's that same type. Now, not that they're uncomfortable, and not that they're a bad hand guard. They are actually a very solid hand guard, and they made up. This pair happens to made up really nice. No anything. And what I like about it too, though, is that it's got these little holes right here where you line them up together and they stay locked in there to each other. But it's a good hand guard, got the aluminum heat shields. But I didn't like the look of it because I wanted to go with the original. It's just a cosmetic issue for me. So I ended up buying these. I got these from Aero Precision, just some basic round hand guards. You see the difference here? These round ones here are more like the Colts, the original ribbed hand guards like this. They're not rounded, you know. These aren't, of course, these aren't the triangular ones either. But these are melanited, nitrided or whatever on the inside. That way, little extra heat resistant, little extra corrosion resistant, you know, things like that. It's a nice little bonus feature. It does not have the same little tabs that they do on this one, but it does have these little lines right here and a little gap right here. So, but they're not perfect to line up. They still, when you get them in there, you know, they still move around a little bit. But they're built the same quality, you know, plastic. It's both of them are equal to the other. And I just added that for just a cosmetic look because it kept with the truer look of the 90s and early 2000s of the M16 classic, you know, and everything. Now, people have asked me why I haven't put, you know, or will I, or you should, you know, they always tell me that about that, put those Knights Armament, those CAC rails on there, you know, put those on there and stuff. I was like, well, I may do that one day. I kind of like the original look of it myself. And, you know, if you got, you know, another 150 bucks or 300 bucks for me to spend on them, then I would. I'd rather sink that money into some ammunition or something else than rails. I've even toyed with the idea of putting a Magpul rail on here because I do kind of like that look on there too. But like I said, I'm really kind of like, I like, you know, it's just more kind of the classic look for me. So, you know, I'm old enough to remember the Vietnam War and things like that on TV. You know, I was just little, of course, but in the 70s, you know, the early 70s, remember seeing things like that. So, you know, the triangular handguards and things like that, that to me, that's the different era my teenage years in the 80s and 90s and the 20s, you know, when I was in my 20s and the 90s and things like that. This is the look that I saw most of the time in the military, you know, stuff. So this is kind of what I kind of grew up with, you know, the look wise. So that's for me. But no, I mean, that's really it for on this as a review. That's everything. And now I'm not taking off my carry handle because I don't want to mess up my, just in case I don't want to have to re-sight it in. But it is T-marked underneath there. Their markings are underneath on this one, so. I don't mind telling you, it's a hot son of a mother out here. Another hot day. Anyway. Yeah, Palmetto State Armory. Complete rifle, upper and lower. My overall impressions of it is, I like it. I really like it. And I like the full 20-inch version of the AR-15. This is, you know, take on the AR-15A4. I really like it. You know, I like the shorter barreled ones too, the M4s and the mid-links. I really like the mid-links, preferably over the M4 type rifles. I really like those. However, I do like the full classic M16 look. Now, my overall impression of this rifle so far, I've had about, I don't know, 500 rounds through it, maybe 600 at the most. And I know that's not a whole lot, but I have not had one single issue with this rifle. No fail to feed, fail to fire, fail to eject, nothing. You know, I know Palmetto State Armory sometimes gets bashed for certain things, and if they're screw up, then they should, you know, but it does have a lifetime warranty on it. You know, people talk about their customer service. Oh, Joe Biden there.
You know the thing.
Their customer service, you know, being crappy and stuff like that. Well, I've never really had to deal with their customer service, so I mean, I haven't had that issue. If I do, you know, that's gonna suck. But from everything that I know of, though, they always do honor, you know, any replacement parts. If something breaks, they fix it. They'll send another one out or whatever, you know. So that's good, and that says a lot for a company who offers a lifetime warranty on their products. So, but yeah, I mean, so far it's been a good rifle. I mean, I have not had an issue with it. Like I said, it's got the FN cold hammer forged barrel, so it's a little bit of an upgrade there. Longer lasting, durability, things like that, and that's kind of what I wanted. I wanted something that is going to last, and you know, if the shit does go down, something that's going to provide me with years and years of use if I need to use it. I will be upgrading the maybe not upgrading, but as a backup, get another bolt carrier, probably most likely a BCM or something like that, something that's really a good upgrade to have, and just have, you know, as one as a backup in case anything goes wrong with it. The only thing that I thought about doing, which would only, like I said, with the handguards is purely cosmetic, is getting an Aero Precision AR, you know, the M16A2 or A4, whatever they got, lower, with their logo on it that says Property of USA on it. I thought that would be very cool, just for a cosmetic thing, to say something that says that M16, A2 or A4, whatever it says. I think it's A2, but just to have that would be a cool thing. They're, I don't think their lowers are any better or any worse than Palmetto State Armory. I think they're pretty good stuff. And I know PSA makes one that says Property of U.S. Government. I kind of tend to want to avoid that one, even though it says Palmetto State Armory, and anybody who knows anything about firearms will know that that's a Palmetto State Armory lower, and It's not really property of the U.S. government. However, there are a lot of law enforcement that are not up to date on stuff, and like gun guys, and they may like, hey, let me look at your gun, and they'll see that United States government property of, and they may like take you to jail, you know, and you know, you'll have to get it straightened out and everything, and they probably will release you and give you back your gun then when you say, hey man, look, yeah, this is what it is, you know. But some podunk sheriff somewhere might not know the difference. And now most of them are gun guys and they'll know, but that's just the way it is. But anyway, this is a nice, you know, clone, M16 clone. Are there better guns out there? Yeah. Are there worse guns out there? Yeah. This one, I look at it as kind of as a mid-tier, maybe even a slight edge to the upper, you know, mid-tier area with this cold hammer forged barrel. I really like it. But that's it. That's kind of my review of the whole thing, my little overall impression of it after having it for a while, putting some rounds through it. It's accurate. Like I said, no issues with it so far at this point. I'll let you know if I do. But it's been accurate, whether it's been iron sights or even using the primary arms optics, the Cyclops and the 5x prism scope. Like I said in my last video of the property patrol I did, I really like shooting irons. Plus I think that the scopes that I have, the two primary arms optics that I do have, I think if the 3x one that I don't have, the 3-powered one, I think that's the one that, after having those two, I think is a good in between for both, you know, close quarters and distance. Because where I'm at and where I go to, I've got some distance that I can, you know, reach out to out there if need be, and all that stuff. And this certainly is a 20-inch rifle, certainly capable of reaching out, you know, pretty accurately to 600 yards, 800, if you really want to get out there. And that's pretty good for a rifle like this, for 5.56. So anyway, that is it. One thing I would like to get is some of the steel or aluminum mags, you know, like a couple of gray ones or something like that, just to have some just for pure cosmetic look, you know, of the original look of it. They work fine. I've never had any issues with them. I know a lot of people do. But I've been running Magpul for a long time, and Magpul are just really good, you know, magazines. I haven't had any issues, and I know there's a few others out there that do pretty good too. But anyway, I'm just rattling on, making a long video. But anyway, that is my review of this, and hope you got something out of it. And if you're looking at something like this, I recommend it. I recommend it. You know, I know they make the Freedom line of barrels of those, and there's nothing wrong with those either. There's nothing wrong with those either. I just went with this for extra durability and longevity in case of a, you know, major crash of the world, basically. You know, that's something that I could have that will actually last. It's chrome lined, something that will last that, and in some harsher conditions than maybe that particular barrel would. There's nothing wrong with the Freedom barrel. I had one on my Palmetto State Armory mid-length that I had. It was accurate, it was nice, it was fine. I didn't have any issue with it. It was a great rifle. And but like I said, that's why I went with that. Anyway, there's my review. Hope you liked it. Keep it heavy.